All right, let's talk about a big idea. What if I told you there are really only two paths in life? And the one you're on right now, well, that could decide your entire future. We're going to dive deep into this choice, the one between complaining and actually doing something. So let's get right into it. You see this on screen? It's not just some nice sounding quote you'd see on social media. No, think of it more like a diagnosis. The whole idea here is that our default setting as humans is to complain, right? To make excuses. So, this simple phrase, don't complain, work hard, is really the first step to breaking out of that loop. Okay, so picture this. Your life is a video game. At the start screen, you get two choices. Path number one, it looks amazing, super easy, lots of bonus points, no tough enemies in sight. Path number two, though, it looks like a nightmare. It's a steep uphill climb right from the get-go. So which path do you think actually leads you to winning the game? That's the choice we're going to unpack. So if it's so simple, why is it so hard to just, start working? Well, the argument here is that the modern world we live in is practically designed to keep us weak. Seriously, it's a storm of distractions, and it's built on a culture that pretty much encourages us to point the finger at anyone but ourselves. I mean, think about it. Our brains are basically being hijacked 24/7. You've got social media pangs, news alerts, that endless, mindless scrolling. It's like a constant digital attack that leaves us feeling totally drained and anxious. And here's the kicker. The damage isn't just in our heads. Now, this might seem a little intense, right? The idea that our digital habits are physically harming us. And yeah, linking it directly to things like brain strokes and heart attacks is a really bold claim. But let's look at the core idea. A brain that's always stressed, always overstimulated, that's just not a healthy brain. It's a perfect recipe for burnout, for anxiety, and for all sorts of other health issues down the line. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Now, what about the solution? Well, it all boils down to that simple choice we mentioned earlier, the path of strength versus the path of ease. And you're about to see why that easy path, well, it's not nearly as easy as it looks. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's so stark. The path of strength, it starts with a brutal climb up a mountain full of pain. But the path of ease, that one starts in a beautiful, sunny field. The message couldn't be clearer. Anything worthwhile has to be earned. That easy road might look nice at first, but trust me, it leads absolutely nowhere good. All right, let's dig into that path a little more, the path of ease. Because let's be real, it's the one most people are tempted to take. It seems great on the surface, but like we said, it's a direct route to a dead end. And you know what? We've all been there. It feels good to blame someone else, doesn't it? Society, the system, our parents, anyone. It's way easier than looking in the mirror. But here's the trap. Every single time you blame someone else, you're literally handing over your own power. You're basically saying, hey, I'm not in control here. And that, my friends, is a really dangerous game to be playing. Nature has a way of making things really simple. In the wild, there's no time for excuses. You're either strong or you're prey. A lion doesn't sit around complaining that it's too hot to hunt. It just hunts. The point isn't to be a wild animal, obviously. It's to learn from that focus, that raw focus on action, instead of just complaining. And this really gets to the core of it all. You can't just ask for respect. It doesn't work that way. You have to earn it. And how do you do that? By building your own strength, your skills, your mind, your ability to bounce back. When you're genuinely strong, you don't have to worry about people tearing you down. You're in a position of power. Okay, so we've seen the trap of the easy path. Now let's flip the script and talk about the other option, that harder path. The one that starts with struggle, but, well, this is the one that leads to a life with actual meaning, with purpose, and with real freedom. Think about starting a new workout routine. Those first few days, or weeks, they're just pure pain, right? You're sore, you're tired, you want to quit. But then something kind of magical happens. You start to get used to it. You start to actually enjoy the challenge. You feel stronger. That's exactly what this is about. Pushing through that initial pain to get to the good stuff on the other side. Take a look at Alexander the Great. The guy didn't earn that nickname by sitting on his couch complaining, right? At just 19, he was inspired by this incredible vision of what was out there in the world, and he actually had the guts to go for it. It's just a powerful reminder that real ambition, when you actually act on it, can literally change the world. Now, here's an idea you might not hear every day. You can't truly understand the value of hard work until you've been on the receiving end of, well, a tough situation. You just can't learn this stuff from a book. Getting a job, even a really crummy one, forces you to learn things you'll never see in a classroom, like how to handle a tough boss or what it really feels like to earn your own money. I know, this might look like a guide to being miserable, but it's actually seen as a path to understanding. Because once you felt overworked, once you felt underappreciated, and you get that first tiny paycheck, something clicks. You suddenly get the true value of money and the effort that goes into earning it. You see the world differently. And this connects to a wider idea. In a lot of places, like in Europe, kids start working around age 16. And look, this isn't about forcing kids to work. It's about teaching responsibility early on. The idea is simple. When you start to appreciate what your parents provide because you're earning your own money, that sense of responsibility starts to bleed into every other part of your life. So here we are. We've laid it all out. You've got the two paths in front of you. One where you're a victim of your circumstances, and another where you're the hero of your own story. So after all this, the only question left is, which one are you going to choose? And at the end of the day, it's nobody else's choice but yours. You can keep walking down that easy road, the one of complaining, the one that leads to, well, not much. Or you can take a deep breath and step onto the hard path. The path of struggle, yes, but also the path of strength and greatness. The choice is yours, but you have to know this. You can't have one foot on each path. You have to choose. So what's it going to be?